What's up, PEP family? We are back for another Pep Talks conversation. And yeah, you may notice I have my robe on. I'm not doing this just, what I am, because we're going to be comfortable today. Our topic today is comfort versus discomfort, or uncomfortability versus discomfort. But today we decided to just be a little comfortable and it's a good day. So we're going to do our robes today and just chill and have this good conversation. So my guest today is another friend, relative, all around good person. She is from Lexington, North Carolina. She is a mom. She is a model, a North Carolina A&T graduate, a mental health advocate, and so much more. So we are going to welcome Quinn.
Hey,
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. You know what? I don't like this robe. I'm gonna switch my robe. Hold on. Let me get the motivation going. Put on my money robe, honey.
The money robe. Here for it.
The money robe. Okay, I said, wait a minute. Let's do the money robe.
The money robe.
Hold on. Let me switch real quick. There we go. Look like a bag of money in the bed.
There we go.
Boom.
There we go.
Let's get the robe. Well, hey, honey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm Gucci here, Sunday blessed. I'm tired. I've been working all week.
Good.
I know I look crazy. I got to get my hair done, but you know.
Absolutely. Well, I'm glad to have you. I'm glad we get to chat.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
This is my first interview, so I'm excited. Setting the tone.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that we get to break that bubble today. So we'll keep it PG. I was going to say something else. See, I cut up with you. That's the problem.
Okay, we cut up too much. That's the problem.
We do. We do.
cut up too much.
Not that that's a bad thing. That is
Right.
not a bad thing.
Right.
But no. So definitely going to get into it. So thank you for coming aboard. I'm thanking you so much for just being a part and sharing this day for this conversation. So I'll give you the floor. Tell us more about you. What do you do? What do you offer? Who are you? Who is Quinn?
All right, who am I? Well, my name is Quintella. I am 31. I'm going to be 32 in, what's this? This May, right? Yeah, in 3 months, I'll be 32. 32, ooh, Lord. Whew. I am from Lexington, North Carolina. I am a mother. I just graduated from A&T, class of 2021, Aggie Pride. Ooh, ooh.
Aggie Pride.
I work. I have a career. I have a full-time job, regular 9 to 5. I am a model. I really have just like kind of put my modeling on a pause because like I was in the process of like moving and just relocating to get closer to my job. And then of course things with my daughter. I had, things with my mental health going on. So I kind of put the modeling on a pause, but it's coming back.
Okay.
And here, what do I have to offer? I got to offer a whole lot of knowledge, my experiences. Like I'm here to give tips on how to cope or how to develop new coping skills. I'm here to maybe answer people's questions that they probably are not that comfortable in answering. And I'm just here to be open. Like when I started my mental health journey, I always said that I was going to be open and I was going to be vulnerable and I was going to just let it all out because it's somebody out there right now who is afraid to speak on their mental health or is afraid because somebody has made them feel uncomfortable. So, they probably feel lonely and I know how that feels. So I want to help somebody today. And like I said, like I told myself before, if I can save one person, then I save one person.
Absolutely. And that's what it's about. And I think it's funny that you say that because I think a lot of us come into the things that we do with that hope and that belief is as long as I can touch one person, I've done my job, because, it begins a ripple effect,
we can't save everybody.
Yeah. And that one person can touch somebody that we can't touch kind of thing. Right. So it just continues on. And it's like, I even have to remember that musically sometimes, like when it's hard and I'm, trying to keep pushing and doing things. And look, already trying to jump into deep conversation already. But just remembering that it's like, as long as I'm helping one person, I'm doing what I said I wanted to do. Just because, of course, we want to touch the masses if we can. And I think sometimes it's easy to get caught up in that, especially for me. But just holding to that reminder is that as long as we can touch one person, we are doing something.
Right.
And I think that's great. So I'm excited to see you do more, hear about you doing more, be a
I'm
part of your
excited to
journey with you.
share.
Yes, so definitely excited. Well, let's get into some of the conversations then.
All right, let's
Tell me about some of your experiences choosing comfort and discomfort, or any
go. Oh,
moments. So let me say this.
that's a good
So
one.
the topic in the conversation is basically about being comfortable or being experiencing some discomfort. But I think to break it down a little bit more, um, it's also about how, have you ever had experience where, let me say it like this. Sometimes in life, we would rather live in discomfort and know that we don't like a situation or want a situation to change rather than
Mm.
being uncomfortable to do something different.
Okay, I got
Like
you.
those examples of like a
Right.
relationship or just whatever. So just
Yeah.
share whatever those experiences are, whether it is relationship, job, career, whatever.
Okay.
What are some of those experiences for you?
Well, I'm just gonna basically speak on a very previous experience that I probably am just now fully probably getting healed from. And it was basically where I had a very long friendship,
Mm.
12 years. Everything was peachy, like it was great. And then like it just started to me. It was just like it was a lot of signs there that I didn't want to see. And of course the people around me were trying to get me to see it, but it was just like I love this person so much that I'm like, nah, like I can't live without you. Like I can't live without you. I can't. And it's like I would have moments where I would try to picture life without this person, and it just didn't seem right. I was scared. I was very scared. Like I was very
Mm.
scared to really break out and do my own thing, leave it alone, leave it in the past, leave it behind me. Like it really took a lot of hard work, a lot of tears, a lot of loneliness, like because it was just something that I abruptly made a decision to do. Like, and I don't want to really fully go into detail about it because I just really don't want to, because it's
Okay,
just something that
understandable.
not that, but that is a situation that it was very 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 hard to walk away from that situation. I promise. Like I shut myself off from the world. Like I shut myself off from people who really cared about me. Like because it was just that's just how hurt like I really was.
Right.
But once I did it though, and I'm sorry, I'm about to be my nah. But once I did it though, like, and once I really seen how like my life was changing like for the better. Like it's
Mhm.
not like my life was changing for the worse, because it wasn't. Like the direction that I was going, it could have been worse, but like it's like my life just really started changing for the better. And I'm like, wow, like I really just got a lot done. Like, and it was just,
Yeah.
I started surrounding myself around different people. Like, I started really surrounding myself around people who really trying to do the same thing that I'm trying to do. Like, I really, started having different conversations, started trying to think differently. Like, and it really helps. And it's a lot of situations, I've been in relationships too, where I have chose to be uncomfortable just because I was comfortable with somebody being here with me. Like I
Mm.
was just so comfortable with the thought of this man being with me. Like he say he loved me, he's still here. If he ain't really love me,
Right.
then he wouldn't be here. Like, and I'm dismissing all the red flags, everything that's not supposed to be there, whatever. But it's like you're comfortable, you love them. Like what do you do? Like
Yeah.
but it got to a point to where it boiled over. Like it boiled over, it turned bad, and it it abruptly ended. So one thing that those situations have taught me, relationships, friendships, whatever, is that God shows us signs. Like God really be showing us signs. I don't know, I don't know what people religious preference is, but I pray. I'm learning. I'm not praying as much as I used to, but like it's something that I'm still working on, because my faith is something that I'm still working on. But choosing comfort over discomfort is really something that I feel like everybody battles every day, because it's very hard to walk away from a situation when you're comfortable. And it's scary to get comfortable. So one thing that I'm doing right now in my life, literally right now, like at this present moment, is I'm learning to stop being comfortable. And because my whole life, I'm not even gonna flex, my whole life my family has done nothing but to help take care of me. It's been my family. I can run to my family anytime, and I still can. You know what I'm saying? I still can. Anytime I need something, I'm down and out, whatever, I run to my family. It's there. But it's like I'm comfortable. I got comfortable with that. Like I had to move back. I moved back in with my parents. I started getting to a point where I really started feeling myself being comfortable at my parents' house. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like there's nothing wrong with that, because I'm thankful that I can go to my parents' house and I can be comfortable, you know. But at the same time, I'm like, you know, I was thinking about it. I was like, you know, yeah, I know when I move, it's gonna be a struggle. I know, you know, everything not gonna be everything like I know. But then I'm like, hey, I'm at my parents, you know, I ain't really gotta. They told me I could stack my bread for however long I want to, but you know, like I'm talking to people who, you know, people who I'm interacting with, people who I'm real close with. They're like, well, Quinn, I mean, come on, girl, you gotta just get out there. Like you gotta jump out there. And I'm like, man. And I did it. Like I was like, you know, I told my parents, like, look, I got approved for my apartment. I'm moving such and such. I'm moving. I threw it out. I just packed up everything and went. Like, and it has not been peachy cream. It has yet, because moving, everyone can relate. Moving is very expensive, you know. But at the same time, it's like once I moved and I got back into my own space, like it was like just the peace that I've obtained. It's just like the amount of peace. Like I can't put a price on my peace.
Yeah.
Like it's just me and my daughter, you know, when she not here, it's just me. It's peaceful. Like, you know, no one has been in my space. Like I'm not really too big on like, you know, really having people over right now. Cause I'm really just, like I said, I'm still working on me.
Enjoying that time. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still working on myself. Like I'm not big on making new friends right now. Honestly, I'm not. It's not that I don't want to. It's not that I don't think I'm better than nobody. I'm just not open to allowing new energies around me, because I don't know people's energy. I know my energy. And a lot of my experiences with giving so much of my energy has brought me hurt. You know, I want to protect myself at all costs. Like, and I'm going through a situation like that right now, you know, with somebody who I love the most. Like, you know, I'm just going through a situation right now with somebody who I love the most, where we're kind of like trying to figure out like what's going on. Like, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, and the situation has me feeling comfortable, uncomfortable, comfortable, uncomfortable. You know, you get what I'm saying? Like you tugging with yourself, but it's like shit. Like fight, girl.
So with that, like, let's just, again, we just having a conversation. How do you using discernment? How do you tell the difference in those situations of like,
oh honey, oh my God,
how do I be comfortable?
When it comes to an uncomfortable decision, I'm scared. Like right now. Okay, so let me tell you, and I'm gonna give you some examples. Like I have a lot of ideas that I want to do. First of all, I'm scared to even hop back into this modeling world. Like I know people, oh my God, but Quinn, why? Your pictures are bomb. Your pictures are so bomb. And I thank everybody for that. I thank everybody for the support, but it just hits so differently, like, because it's like the modeling world is very cruel. Like I don't have the perfect smile. I don't have no big boobs. My butt is all right, you know what I'm saying? But my body is natural, you know, but it's like a whole lot of different stuff now in this modeling world. So it's like, okay, I'm about to jump back out there. Like, is it going to be the same time as before? Like, am I going to be able to do this? Like, and then another thing, I've been debating about if I want to go back and get my master's degree. Like, you know, I got my bachelor's. So I'm like, I mean, if I can get my bachelor's, then I can get my master's. But I'm like, oh my God, what if it's hard? Because I got a lot of friends who done got their master's. I got people I know right now who going through the process of getting their master's. And everybody, you know, I be seeing, you know, people like, oh my God, it's so hard. Da, 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 da. Like, and I don't try to let it discourage me, but it's like, it's scary because it's uncomfortable. Like, I'm like, I I take myself back to when I was going through my bachelor's, and I was like, wow, I was just so uncomfortable. But one thing about that I'm learning with my faith is that God will make you uncomfortable before he puts you with your blessing. And then it's like, and I had my friends telling me, like, if you ain't scared, sweetheart, then that means it ain't meant for you to do it. Like any time that we're about to make a big decision, we are very scared, and I am very afraid because I feel myself moving into the next phase of my life, like right now at this very moment. This is why I don't want to allow nobody new around me. I don't want to bring in nothing new, none of that, because I am really transitioning into the next stage of my life. Like I want to be married. I want to be a wife. I want to have a career. I want to be successful. I want to have another baby. You know, I do. I want to have another baby. Oh, Quinn, you ain't had another baby. And I hate that people put that pressure on you. Like, why you ain't married? You 32. You not married. You not like I'm old school. You know, we old school.
Right.
We old school. Like we on some stuff. Like, listen. Like I want to get married one time. My parents. They've been together since I was about yay high. Listen,
right.
Wow, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know what I want, but at the same time, being a wife is not easy. Going through a relationship journey is not easy. I'm doing that right now. It is not easy. It is not easy. It is not. It really takes work. Like, and I'm doing the work. I'm praying. I'm making sure that I'm doing what I gotta do for me as a woman, but I'm still paying attention to my goals, you know. But at the same time, I know that I do want to be a wife. I was trained from a little girl to be a wife. Like, you know, I want to have a successful career. I don't want to marry nobody for no money. I want my own money.
Come on with your
our
own
money. Like,
listen,
our money.
Yes, you know? Teamwork.
Okay, like I got a bag, you got a bag too. Shoot, let's match these bags. Like that's the type of energy that I'm on. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be successful. I want the career. I want the house. And I ain't even gonna say I want it. I deserve it. Like I deserve all that. Like that's one thing that me and my therapist have been working on. And another thing is that my therapy has been helping me a lot with my comfort and my discomfort. That's why it was funny whenever you hit me about this and you got the topic. I told my therapist, why did one of my friends just hit me to do an interview about comfort versus discomfort? She was like, what? Because that's exactly this is the exact thing that me and my therapist are talking about right now in my very life, because I am really trying to shift myself from being so comfortable to the way that my life was to getting myself to this next phase of my life. Like I'm starting to do things that I'm not comfortable with. Like I'm communicating my feelings to somebody. I ain't baby. I'm being vulnerable. Like I'm being vulnerable. I'm saying how I feel. Like, but at the same time though, I'm learning how to listen. Like, because a lot of times in my past situations, I never listened. I didn't. And one thing that I'm learning in therapy again is you gotta listen. So like I'm learning, and I'm using that in all aspects of my life, not my personal life. Yeah, because
I mean, it really does touch everything. Like it really is a thing to where, again, even today, like I'm usually a talker. I get the ability and the thing to just listen today. And so it's that thing of knowing how to do both. And you know, it's one of the things they say too, it's like we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. We should always listen more than we're speaking. I think it's an amazing thing to be able to actually not just hear what someone is saying, but actually listen to what they're saying as well, to really understand. Because a lot of times we're not listening with the intent to understand. We just want to respond. You know, so it's being able to actually hear it, listen, and take in what's being said to actually know how to apply and what to do after that.
Yep. And that's what we're working on. Like, so yeah, but my comforts just make me feel good. Like I know I just feel like, oh, okay. But yeah.
And they're easy to choose. Like it's easy
to choose where you're comfortable. It's easy.
And I think so my best friend is actually the one that helped come up with this principle of comfort versus discomfort. We were having a discussion like 2-3 years ago, maybe a little longer than that. So a lot of the principles that I use for coaching all came when I moved to Houston. So we have these, I'm gonna have to start recording in front of them so I can actually show them during the topics.
Mm-hmm.
But we had these whiteboards, and like everything we went through, we would start just jotting down on the whiteboard. Like started to confront my own issues of like codependency or comfort or control or just whatever. So we would just write things down, and those became our themes of life. To where now we have a shared note in our phone of like quotes that we like or themes of just that we've come up with. But he particularly helped come up with this one through a conversation and what happened, because you said this earlier too, that how God will make you uncomfortable when it's time to make a change in your life. The shift that we've made in that is making you experience discomfort because you know that you need to move, you know you need to change, you know you need to do things, but pushing you through that discomfort to be uncomfortable to do something different. Because a lot of the times that's the scary part, that being uncomfortable. Like it's scary to choose to step outside of something that you felt that would be right for you or would be the best thing for you or just whatever. So it's hard sometimes. So it's still a little work. It's a wordplay kind of thing, but that's one of the ways that we like to think about it, of just no longer choosing either being comfortable or no longer choosing the discomfort just to be comfortable kind of thing, but looking for those experiences of being uncomfortable to do something new and do something different. Because as you said, like when you start actually applying and doing those things, you realize that there are so many blessings on the other side of that. And it's like so many doors open and so many things happen.
And it's scary. Like it's just so scary. And that's the thing, like with mental health, like it's so unexpected. Like these last couple weeks, my mental health has been like this. Like it's like I know what I want to do. I've been thinking about a lot of my goals, and I ain't gonna lie, like I started really feeling discouraged because I was like, oh my God, I'm about to be 32 and I don't have this, and I don't and that's the thing about social media. Like that's why I get with because I mean I'm looking at people and I'm like, damn, she the same age as me, and what am I doing wrong?
Right.
Yeah, that's the first. Yeah, I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Like, am I really too comfortable? And I promise, like, I really just been battling myself about that. That's why I said me and my therapist been talking about it, because I'm like, I really feel like I've gotten comfortable with where I'm at, and now that I want to do something different, I'm scared. I feel stagnant. I don't want to move. I've been so depressed. Like I just been so depressed about that. Because like I just want so much more for myself. Like I want to be able to give my daughter so much more. Like it's just a lot. Like I was like, man, I always look at my degree and I'm like, if I can get my degree, then I can do that. I can get my master's. I can be a successful model. Like I just gotta get out there and do it. So it's just me getting through these scared feelings, these nervous feelings, the feeling of failing, the feeling of losing stuff. Like it's just me working through all these feelings, like because and it's a process. Like it's been some sleepless nights. It's been nights I wake up in the middle of the night just crying because I don't know why I'm crying. Like I'm just like, oh my God, why am I freaking crying? Like it pisses you off. Like it starts pissing you off. Like, why am I up? One night I was up to like 4:30 in the morning. I'm like, what this ain't it. I'm like, this ain't it, baby. This ain't it. Like, and one time I just like I just want Black people to vocalize their feelings. I want Black men to be vulnerable. Like I want Black women to know that we are protected. If our men is not going to protect us, then shoot, we can band together and we can protect each other. You know, like I want people to not have to be afraid to open up about their mental health and not have to be judged, because you know I do see people like, oh, they just be doing that for attention. Oh, you can turn that off. You cannot turn off mental health, baby. Because if you could turn off mental health, then baby, everybody would be fine.
Right.
We'll be out. We'll be out.
They feel like that, especially in the Black community, because a lot of the things we've always just had to sweep it under the rug and go. Like we've never had the ability to really express how we felt, you know. So a lot of that, you know, and sometimes I hate even having to attach a lot of our trauma to this, but this is where it comes from. Like even thinking about slavery, it's like you expressing your feelings meant that you could have been killed. So, you know, you had to harbor and hold that shit in. So it was a thing to where you weren't able to express it. We've continued to continue those cycles of not being able to express or open and be vulnerable. So let me rephrase this next question because it's
Okay.
we're going along those lines for that now, but it
Cool.
typically said when did it become clear to you to stop second guessing yourself? So with that, I'll say,
Okay.
when did it become clear to you for your mental health to take serious and no longer go through those roads of, as we were just saying, of holding it in and just not.
Okay.
So when did that become clear to you?
So when I spent 3 days in the mental hospital because I
Okay.
basically, you know, back in almost 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago? Yeah, it was about 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago. 2 years ago because it was 2020. But yeah, back in July 2020, I did attempt suicide. Like I attempted to take my own life. And I was the person who called 911 on myself. Like I'm like, listen, I'm on the phone with them. Like, I'm not feeling right. I want to hurt myself. Like, come get me. Like, I told them to come get me. Like,
Wow.
I was the one who called. Like, come get me, because I knew something was not right, and it was just like I was really just going through so much that I really just was on some shit. Like, the world would be much better without me here. So I'm alright. I'll be alright. You know, like I wasn't even thinking about nothing else. Like I really wasn't.
Right.
And so I ended up spending 3 days in the hospital. And over those 3 days, like I ain't gonna flex. Them was the most peaceful 3 days I had ever had in my life because I ain't had no phone. I mean, I had people around me, but I was comfortable because they was all going through the same stuff I was going through.
Right.
They was all my roommate, the people who was there, you know. Yeah, what you here for? Oh, I'm depression. Yeah, me too. Like, and then the one thing that I really loved about my hospital stay, I hate to say love it, but the one thing that I loved about it was the group therapy sessions that we would have, because it was crazy. Because when it came to me, because I was the new person, and it came time to introduce myself, and I was telling, you know, I work, I have a job. I was still in school at the time. I was like, I'm currently in school, about to finish my degree. You know, they was like, you know, do you have your own place in the car? Yeah. What are you in here for? Like, I'm like, I can't have problems. Like, no.
Yeah.
You have everything going for yourself. Why are you depressed? Like, you know, but going through them 3 days of just really just being able to really gather my thoughts, and I was like able to just really vocalize myself with no judgment, with nobody giving me no type of pushback, with nobody saying, well, you shouldn't feel like that. Oh, well, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't. Da, 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 da. The one thing that I learned about that experience is to never hold in your feelings. Like,
Yes.
and from that point on, I have always vocalized how I felt. If I'm hurt, I let it be known. If my feelings are hurt, I let it be known. If I'm depressed, I let you know I'm depressed.
Yeah.
Like if I'm really having them type of thoughts again, I will call one of my friends. Hey, I ain't feeling right, bro. Like,
Yeah.
you know, because I mean, you know, I don't have my moments. Like I still, you know, the journey is not perfect.
Right.
And I've had my moments where, you know, I've, you know, had thoughts, but
Right.
it still, that at that very moment though, in that hospital, I was like, I'm not playing with this no more.
Right.
Cause that's my life. Like,
Right.
people are really killing themselves out here.
Right.
People
And I mean,
are killing themselves.
and because as you said, it's a lot, and I think a lot of that stems from even thinking about my own experiences. I made attempts at 12 and 18, and I think again when it goes into those conversations of when you can't express yourself, when you're not given that space to talk about what you're going through, when people are intentionally not understanding what it is you're going through. Because a lot of times that's a thing too. Like some people will intentionally try not to understand because, well,
Yep.
I don't deal with that. So that doesn't mean that I don't, just because you don't. Like,
Mhm.
so when you don't feel like you can open up and express, that's unfortunately where a lot of our minds go. It's like, I'll end all this shit. Like I'll just take myself up out of here then. How about that?
Real quick,
Um
listen.
yeah, but
That's how
I
it
think,
goes.
and that's the thing. So even since I became a life coach, and even that's one of the things I tell clients too, is that my goal isn't to say that you won't ever deal with depression or anxiety or anything again. My goal is to help you with tools to where you'll know how to manage that and deal with those things where they don't bother you as they used to. And if that means that you end up getting to a point to where you never deal with it, perfect. But also just knowing how we are as humans and what we have to deal with in life, sometimes that can be unrealistic to think that you'll never ever deal with certain things because stress throws you off.
Oh yeah.
It's just so many different things that can happen that can trigger you. So what happens is one of the first things I go through with clients is understanding what your triggers are, so that way you know kind of how to navigate through those moments and through those things. But it's and a lot of times, I sharing another experience for me too. I remember it was maybe 2015, 2016 maybe. I ended up going to a mental health facility in North Carolina before I moved to Houston, and many people probably don't know this about me either. But literally, like, after getting there, talking to them, even the doctor was like, "Why are you here?" Because I talked them through my entire process, and I was like, "Listen, I'm literally just telling you I need somebody to talk to that's not attached to me." Because even in that, a lot of times our family or friends, they can want to take on what we're dealing with.
Right.
And they make it their thing. And it's like, no, I just really need you to listen right now.
Right,
This isn't a thing to where, but I've also learned this because we don't know how to have a healthy sense of detachment in a sense. It's like, I can listen to you, but that doesn't mean I'm going to carry it with you and walk with you through it just because I love you and I care for you. But there are certain things that I do have to understand that I can't carry it for you, kind of thing. And I think that's where that mix up comes with a lot of us. And I've been that friend before that it's like, oh my God, I just want to fix it for them, or just, that's not reality sometimes. But the beauty is, like you said, you get in those groups and you get those people around you who you can talk to, who you see that's like, oh, you got one too. Like, I'm not the only one out here.
Right.
It's definitely helpful in those senses. And but no, I think that's it's a good story. And I say a good story in knowing that of course, unfortunate situation, but something that brings on the light for you to notice, like, okay, I gotta take me serious. I gotta do what I gotta do for me.
Right. We got to.
Yeah.